Hi, my name is EB. I'm the founder of Smart with Money Planning, SWM Planning. Today I'm going to talk about what the new tax bill means for families. It's a tax cut in general. More families will get a relief from their tax bill than the amount of families who will pay more. This is for a couple reasons. First of all, the marginal tax rates have been reduced. So, for example, the top margin tax rate for someone who earns about $50,000 in taxable income reduced from 25% to 22% um, between 2017 and 2018. So just from the marginal tax rate perspective, it reduced. And on top of that, um, things such as the child tax credit. The child tax credit was doubled from $1,000 to $2,000 per child, and also the phase out limit, meaning um, what your income amount has to be before it starts reducing the value of the credit for you. That also went up. For example, if you made about 150,000 as a couple in 2017, you would have been phased out from the child tax credit. But in 2018, that limit jumps up to $400,000. So you can be a high income couple making $400,000 and still benefit from the child tax credit, which is $2,000 per child. The um, the rate for, excuse me, the phase out limit for individuals is I think 200,000, and before it was 75,000. So basically, more people can qualify for the child tax credit, and also the tax credit went from $1,000 to $2,000. On top of that, if you have relatively simple finances, meaning if you don't own some business, if you don't have a bunch of investment income and a bunch of extra deductions, if you're pretty regular folks, you'll likely just take the standard deduction. So the standard deduction for married couples is now 24,000. That's up from 12,700. And for individuals, it's 12,000 starting in 2018. And before it was 6,350. So if you itemize, then you would only get the benefit. Let's see, let me phrase this correctly. So let's say you're an individual in 2018. It will only benefit you to itemize deductions if your itemized deductions are over $12,000. That's because you either choose the itemized deduction, the standard deduction, or you choose the itemized deduction. And you just choose whichever is bigger because you want lower taxes, right? So the purpose of increasing the standard deduction means that basically the floor level deduction that you can get is higher for more people. So family earning, let's say 100,000, off the bat, 24,000 of that 100,000 is not taxable because of the standard deduction. And before that amount that was immediately not taxable was 12,700. So it's pretty good for that reason that most people will pay less taxes. One issue is that those tax cuts are temporary for individuals, but the tax cuts for corporations are permanent. So the corporate tax rate as well covered dropped from 35%, the top corporate tax bracket, to 21%. And that's permanent. But for the everyday people, you're not going to really benefit from the reduction in the corporate rate unless you work for one of those companies that decided to give some of that back to the workers, or you own stock in that company. So own stock, after you get your savings account to at least about 3 months of, well, 1 month of income, I would say, in a savings account. you want to increase your savings, let's say in a brokerage account, or even your 401k, you can borrow from it. Even an IRA, you can borrow from it. But you want to basically be invested in some companies, because that's how you can benefit from this corporate tax cut. The companies will get to keep more of their profits, and if you own a piece of that company, then your little portion will also be more valuable, assuming the company is successful. Um, so the tax cut, let's give some examples. I'm going to give some examples. For a wage earner in the bottom 20% of earners, if they're making about $20,690, their tax cut will be $210 if they're a family. That's not much, but contrast that with if you're a high income earning family with 400,000 in income, your tax cut will be $9,330. So because of the progressive tax rate, basically people who earn more pay more taxes. And the truth is, about half of the country doesn't pay any taxes, and the top half of the country pays, the lion's share of the taxes. So that's why the higher earning individuals, the higher earning families will get a larger tax cut because they pay more in taxes and the rates dropped for everyone. On top of that, one thing I like, it's not really a political thing, it's just from a practical perspective, I guess. If you have kids and you want to send them to private school, you can use the money from a 529 college savings plan, which is a tax advantage, meaning let's say you earn 100,000, you could put, who knows, 5,000, 10,000 a year into this 529 plan, and then the government won't tax you on the amount that you invested to save that for your kids, which now that money is not only used for college, but you could actually use it for a private school. In addition, there's what's called a 529 ABLE account. It's the same thing for disabled individuals. If you have a disabled child, you can get some growth that's similar to a 529 plan. You can get that for your disabled child. So there's a couple features that I like. Just to recap, if everyone's tax goes down, then and the government can still function effectively, they don't cut too many benefits to the less fortunate. And basically those in need, they're not suffering. But you're able to do that with less tax coming out of people's paycheck, then that's a good thing. We'll see if that really happens. I have a feeling that with this tax cut will also come some cuts to Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and I just don't think those people who are on who use those services I don't think they have the greatest quality of life. So I don't think I don't think it's good to cut those services, but they didn't cut them yet, so who knows if they will. I like the doubling of the child tax credit. I think that's a good thing, and I like the higher limit for the standard deduction. That's good for most people, and then the higher threshold to before the child tax credit starts phasing out. That's a good thing. I don't really understand why it's temporary. I'm guessing it's some kind of budget issue that in order to get it to pass, they had to make it temporary. But the what I'm referring to are the individual tax cuts. The corporate tax cuts, of course, are permanent. So you know what? Hopefully, the corporations and those who have more will do the right thing and invest that in the people, hire people, pay them appropriately, and it could all work out, but we'll see.